All right, kiddos. So again, we'll start over. Is it going?
Yeah, it's going. It's at 9 seconds. Make it 10. Make it 12.
Okay, so our learning target for today, I can solve two-step inequalities. Before I needed to do a retake on it, you told me that two-step inequalities should be like one-step inequalities, and then two-step inequalities should also be like two-step equations, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we did two-step equations way before Christmas break. Well, no, right before Christmas break. So when we did two-step inequalities, we always had two steps. We did one thing, and then we did something else. Okay, so do you remember what we did first?
Solve it.
Okay, yeah, not just solve it, but there was a specific way we broke down our problem.
Upside down T.
Okay, we start with our upside down T, absolutely. Then, looking at your operations, what did we do first?
If it was multiplying, you divided. If it was dividing, you multiply.
So you,
Inverse operation.
okay, inverse operations, right? Did we add or subtract or multiply, divide first?
No, but
You'd have to break down your problem.
It wasn't a yes or no question. I love you,
You
Z.
spoke too fast.
Okay. All right, we're struggling already. It's all right, guys. All right, one-step equation. Inverse operation. We add or subtract the constant term. Okay, so we add or subtract the constant term first. If we add or subtract first, what do we do second? Multiply or divide. Thank you, Danica. So we multiply by the denominator. Or divide by the coefficient. Okay, this is where we reverse our sign if negative. Okay, because when we multiply or divide by a negative number, we have to reverse our inequality symbol. Okay, that's the very last thing that we do with these problems. So those are our two steps. Add or subtract the constant term, multiply by the denominator, or divide by the coefficient. Okay, this or is a big deal, because we need to know where our denominator is, and we need to know what a coefficient is, so we know what to divide or what to multiply. Okay, that's why those math vocabulary terms are so important. We ready to go?
Yeah.
Everyone got that copy down?
Yeah.
Okay. Dominic, I feel like you're really far away back there. I do. Are you okay back there? You sure?
He looks kind of long line.
Hey, put your hood down.
Green. Second time. Third time.
No. Don't. Okay. So our first problem, 3x plus 2 is less than 11. Okay. Whenever we're solving equations, what do we do first? Okay? Upside down T, right? So upside down T. What does our upside down T do?
Break your problem into 2 steps.
Very good. It breaks our problem not just into 2 steps, but into 2 sides. Okay? So it breaks our problem into 2 sides. It gives us a left side and a right side. It reminds us, whatever I have to do on the left, I also have to do on the right. Very good. So 3x plus 2. So because 2 is being added, we need to subtract it. So subtract from the left and subtract from the right. 2 minus 2, what happens? It crosses out. Very good, you guys. And that crosses out because that's a 0 pair. We took that from the left side and we're going to take it from the right side to keep our equation balanced. 11 minus 2,
9.
It is 9. Okay, so now I just bring down everything else. So 3x is less than 9. Here's your step 1. Now because it's a 2-step inequality, I need how many upside down t's? 2. So I draw another upside down t. Three is being multiplied by x. So 3 is your coefficient. What do we do with the coefficient?
You have to divide it.
We divide it. So divide by one side and by the other. Okay, 3 divided by 3.
3. Oh, 0. So that
X.
Okay, 3 divided by 3 is 1, so our x comes down. What else comes down?
yours less than sign.
Our less than sign. Okay. 9 divided by 3?
3.
Very good. So our solution is x is less than 3. We have to solve, we have to graph, and we have to,
Check it out.
okay? So let's graph it. X is less than 3. Where does our graph start?
On 3. An open circle on 3.
At 3, okay? So our graph starts at 3. Open circle or closed circle? Open. Why is it open, Zach?
Because the number is not included.
Very good. The number is not included in the solution. Okay? So that means that I can't use 3 as a solution. I can use anything that's less than 3 as a solution, but I cannot use 3. 3 will not make my inequality statement true. So I put an open circle at 3. Okay, show me. Left or right?
Left.
Okay. Show me. Left or right? It goes to the left. Less than is left. So our arrow goes this way. Arrow does not have to extend all the way. As long as I can see the direction of the arrow, we're okay. Now, when we check our answer, rewrite it. Always start with rewriting your problem. Now we need to choose a value that will create a true statement. So any of these values that are less than 3 are going to work in our inequality statement. What value would I choose?
0.
Why would I choose 0 in this situation? Tuck?
Because it's the easiest one.
Excellent, it's the easiest math. Okay? So what I mean when I use 0. So 3, whenever I see an x, I'm going to plug in a 0. So rewrite, plug in, and now I'm going to actually do the math. 3 times 0?
0.
0 plus 2?
2.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. So what does that mean? If when I get to the very end of my check, and my inequality statement is true, what does that mean? What have I done? Zach?
Means you checked your answer correctly.
I've checked my answer correctly. So that means that this is correct and this is correct, so I can move on. So my solution is x is less than 3. We're upping the ante with these problems. These problems are now worth 10 points. 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. Okay, 2 points for each step, 2 points for checking your answer, 1 point for the correct solution, and 3 points for the correct graph. Okay, the graph, where did my 3 points come from? Correct location, correct circle, correct direction. Okay, so these points now, these problems now are worth 10 points. I know. It's all right. So just on this page, 20 points, right? It's like an essay.
That's an easy 10 points if you ask me.
All right. So, what questions do you have for me? Yes, Mace.
How did you get x is less than 3 for the solution?
For my solution? Okay, so I divided this side by 3. So it left me with x. And I divided by 9, and it gave me 3.
Because x can also represent 1.
Yeah, x can represent any of these values. Okay, so it can be 2, 1, 0, -1, -2. It can be anything that's less than 3. So I can plug in -10 here. And then I get -28 is less than 11. So it's just like when I solve the two-step equations, I did the same thing. Okay, so I drew my upside down T, inverse operation. Okay, and then I did it again, because my variable still wasn't by itself. So same process. All that's changed is instead of an equal sign, it's an inequality symbol. This is one solution. This is infinitely many solutions, other than 3 and numbers that are greater than 3. Okay, so you just gotta follow that same process because you did really well on that test. Same process. It just looks a little bit different. And for Grayson, it goes like this. Mommy P, a little bit. That's what he does. He can't do this. So he just goes like that. And he always goes like this. So if he wants the tablet, iPad, phone, to watch children opening up eggs. Or Peppa Pig right now. He's big in Peppa Pig. He goes like this. Mama, pad, a little bit. Look. It's hilarious. I mean, I think it's funny, but I'm his mom. He's hilarious. He's so fun.
Just like,
I don't know where he got that.
I always said that. Like you'd always like have the little papers and you'd roll them up and you'd be like.
Oh yeah, he can't do that yet. All right, he goes like this when we go on bear hunts. Because we live in the woods, so he really likes to go on bear hunts. So when we go on a hike, I'm always like, "Great, you want to go on a bear hunt?" He goes, "Bear, cool." It's awesome. All right, here's our next one. What do you notice about this one?
Negative numbers.
Negative number. Okay, and so not just any negative, a negative
With a variable.
coefficient. So what are we going to have to do at the very end?
We're going to have to flip it.
We're going to have to flip it because we're going to eventually divide by a negative. So that's something we really got to think about, and it's really going to be in our brains when we are working on these problems. Negative 8x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, always our first step?
Add 3.
Nope, upside down T. Okay, again, upside down T reminds us, whatever we do on the left, we also have to do on the right. 3 is being subtracted.
The 3 should be crossed out.
So my 3's cancel, I pull down my variable term, pull down my inequality symbol,
And 5 plus 3 is 8.
5 plus 3 is 8. Okay, so again, we already took care of step 1. Okay, we added or subtracted the constant term. Okay, so now we have negative 8 times x. So we need to do it again. 2 steps, 2 upside down t's. Negative 8 is being multiplied by x.
So we have to divide by negative
So we divide left by negative 8 and right by negative 8. What happens to my 8's?
8. They cross out.
They cross out and I'm left with x. I divided by a negative, so my greater than becomes
Less
a less than or equal to.
than 0
And then 8 divided by negative 8.
is
Bless you.
negative 1.
Negative 1. Ooh, not 8. Duh.
There's been a negative 1 on the number line.
Yeah, there's no.
Oh, son of a biscuit.
Start
Just
behind.
make the
It's alright.
one negative.
It's alright, here. Just do this. Draw it underneath. How much space you got?
That was it.
Do you have anything?
Yeah, we go.
That's fun. Okay, then draw it somewhere. I mean, if you have space, like B has space right here, right? He's got space under here. Can you draw it there?
That's written.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, now we got to make sure we draw our number line correctly. So let's put negative 1 in the middle, 0 and 1, negative 2, negative 3. Yeah, sometimes we make mistakes, we gotta improvise, right? It's okay. X is less than or equal to negative 1. Where does my graph start? Okay, it starts at negative 1. Show me, open or closed. Okay, it's closed. Okay, less than or equal to
You're working towards the left.
means that we, I didn't ask that question yet, child. Okay, less than or equal to means I can use it. So I fill in my circle. Okay, or equal to, I fill it in, I can use it. Okay, show me, left or right. Okay, less than is a left. Okay, so that means that all of these solutions from negative 1 all the way to negative infinity are going to be solutions to my inequality statement. Okay. Now, when I go to check it, that means I can use any of these values. Okay. So let's rewrite. Okay. Even though I reverse my inequality symbol down here,
It stays the same at the top.
my problem needs to stay the same. Okay, so it stays the same, it doesn't flip-flop. Now, I need to choose a value from negative 1 to negative infinity.
Negative 1, negative 10.
You can use negative 1, you can use negative 10,
Negative 5.
negative 5. Doesn't matter. Okay, so I want you to pick a value that is less than or equal to negative 1 and check your solution. Okay, so take the time right now on your own. Pick any value and plug it in. And see if your inequality statement is true. What? Oh, black. No, here. See now, look at Avon, if you're saying river, you mean Rocky River.
Yeah.
So,
So many different.
yeah. Because that Magnificat is in Rocky River,
Yeah.
so.
You go out to Florida, they have like, in my cousin's, he's in an all boys private school.
Yeah.
They they have a river. It's like
Oh, where does he go to school?
I'm like it's like St. John's Prep. Kevin Stefanski went there for high school. Yeah.
Is it in Toledo?
No, it's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania. Cause I think there's a St. John's.
There is
There's
a
a
St.
St.
John's.
John's something in Ohio.
Yeah, I think it's in Toledo. I'm almost positive it's in Toledo.
I'm pretty sure it's in Toledo.
Yeah. St. John.
I think it's St. John's.
Say what?
St. John Albert, I think that's what it is.
Oh.
Because their football team's supposed to be like.
Oh, good. All right, so I'm gonna just choose a value. Okay, so let's go -3. Okay, so I'm gonna rewrite with -3. So what I mean is I plugged in for x, I plugged in -3. -8 times -3
24.
is 24. And then 24 minus 3 is 21. Okay, so is 21 greater than or equal to 5?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely it is. So that means I've done a good job. X is less than or equal to -1 goes in my solution box. How are we doing? Up, down, middle. Okay. So up is I totally get it. Down is I'm lost. I'm still at McDonald's this morning. And then middle is like I'm kind of getting it. Okay. What do you see?
Kind of just a visual one.
Say it again, Mace. Do you see division?
So,
Okay. So you see division. X is being divided by 2, subtracted by 7, is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so now I've got a denominator in my problem. When I look at step 2, I multiply by the denominator. So in numbers 1 and 2, my step 2 I divided because I had a coefficient. So now we're going to look at multiplying by the denominator. So x divided by 2 minus 7 is greater than or equal to 1.
you have to multiply by 2.
You want to multiply by 2 first.
No, backwards T.
Upside down.
Okay, upside down t. I know, every time. Sorry. I know. It's like I can read Brody Dempsey's handwriting. You ever seen that crap?
Yes.
I almost said a bad word there. Whoops. I didn't though. I caught myself.
Wait, is his like the worst in the grade?
Pretty bad. Yeah.
Wait, so mine's better?
Or Rudy.
I can read yours.
Yes!
I can read just about anyone's handwriting.
My mom uses her mine on this
Yeah. All right, so upside down t. Some of y'all said you want me to multiply by 2. No. Why would I not multiply by 2?
Because it's 2 steps.
Because it's a 2-step, so I need to do what first?
Add,
Add or
subtract.
Add or subtract. So I look at what is being added or subtracted, and I do the opposite, or I do the inverse. 7 is being subtracted, so I need to
Add.
Very good. Add to the left and add to the right. -7 plus 7. Those are opposites, so they cancel. My variable term comes down. Okay, x is being divided by 2. What's the inverse or the opposite of dividing by 2? Multiplying by 2. So I'm going to take left, and I'm going to take it right. Okay, x is being divided, so I need to multiply it.
Wait. Oh wait, never mind.
Okay.
I see it, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't watch those.
Oh yeah, yeah, got it. Good, good, good catch. Right? divide by 2. What are those?
They're opposites. So they
They're opposites or inverse operations. So what happens to opposites?
Cross out.
They cross out, and we're left with our variable. Bring down our inequality statement,
And then
16.
and then x times 2.
16.
Good. Okay, where does your graph start?
At 16. 16.
At 16. Okay, so down here, once you've solved it, right here is where your graph always starts. Okay, show me, open or close. Okay, closed circle, very good. So we're going to put a closed circle in 16. That means I can use 16. Now, which way? Left or right?
Right.
Okay, greater than. So GR. That GR tells us not only that greater than, the values need to be more than,
Going right.
but the GR reminds me right. Right? Make sure, right? You crying? What? Oh, are you laughing at me because of that?
Imagine if
Oh,
dogs
okay,
could
sorry.
stutter. It's like-
Seriously, I thought you were crying.
Imagine if like dogs could stutter. Wouldn't that be funny?
Imagine if dogs. Okay, we are not talking about dog stuttering right now.
But that would be so
the amount,
funny.
the amount of ways that can go bad. All right, let's not go there. All right, so you also have to remember I have a first grader and a child who is speech delayed at home. So I tend to enunciate and pronounce things, and I over-exaggerate things so they can hear it. I also learned this week that I am not good at phonics.
What's that?
Long vowels, short vowels, stuff like that.
I did not like those.
See, not good at it. My husband, Lucy, got a bad grade on a quiz this week. Yes, love.
What is long that?
Okay, so you shouldn't be asking me that question because my husband looked at me and he goes, "Kay, you're killing me. You don't know this stuff." And I was like, "Dude, I teach math. Like math and science. Like those. That's my basket. Put that in my basket. That's all I got." Okay, I'm not buying phonics. I'm not buying writing. I'm not buying that at the store. Math and science. I didn't know the difference between long vowels and short vowels.
What? I don't.
What do you
Okay,
mean the difference?
so long, okay, here we go. Long vowels, you can hear the letter.
Yep.
So,
Wow.
okay, so take,
Pretend you remember this.
okay, take. What do you hear? What letter do you hear?
A.
A, so that's a long vowel. But if I say cat, that's a short vowel. Okay? Oh yeah, I don't know, Zach, I don't even know.
Why does that even? Why does it even?
So I've been schooling myself lately, and relearning first grade concepts.
That's
Okay?
My mom could not figure out.
Yeah, I can't even talk about it. My husband was like, "You're really bad at this. I can't even believe you're allowed to teach children." And I was like, "You're the first person that's ever said that." Okay, all right. Math and science, baby. All right. So x divided by 2 minus 7 is greater than or equal to 1. So these values, any of these values are going to work. What kind of values am I going to pick for this specific problem?
10.
20.
20.
I'm going to pick 10. So here, I just want you to look at my visual right here.
What?
Someone just said I'm going to pick 10. Is that in my graph?
No.
No. Okay, so look at this. X is being divided by 2. What kind of values am I going to use? Values that are what?
Greater than.
Okay, greater than 16. But what other kind of values am I going to use to make it easier on myself?
One that has a 0 in it.
Okay, one that has a 0, that works.
That's better than
But numbers that are what? Divisible by
higher than 16.
Okay, numbers that are divisible by 2.
equal.
Okay, equal numbers, even numbers, yes. Why am I going to choose numbers that are divisible by 2? Because that won't give me decimals.
You got a minute left to class.
I know, CP, I remember. We've been away for a week, but I got you.
You want me to tell you how long your video is?
No.
How much space it's gonna take on your phone?
20 divided by 2.
Is 10.
Already there, CP.
3 is less than
Oh,
or
what is that?
no, greater than or equal to
3 is greater than or equal to 1. Is this true?
Yeah.
Okay, your homework. I want you to try number 4. That's all you got. Okay? So I just want you to try number 4. Tomorrow, we will do the word problem. Okay? Tomorrow, you need to make sure you have your Volume 2 math book. Volume 2 math book. Now, Brooke, Bailey, I don't think you have Volume 2. Because you guys were quarantined during that time.